Hello and welcome to another episode of Orc Rogues, where we bring to you everything nerdy, geeky, and just plain fun. My name's Derek.
And my name is Thomas.
And today we have a review. Movie. Ready Player One.
Help us save the Oasis.
We just saw it.
I don't think they ever said the title of the movie in the movie. It just occurred to me.
You're right.
Yeah, like they showed the title and that was it. They never said that, like, it makes no sense with that.
Yeah, and it's one of those titles where you would expect them to.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Like I would expect whenever he puts on the headset that he goes, Ready Player One.
Which is interesting because you couldn't have player one. Really. I mean, you could, but it's an MMO. So
yeah, it doesn't really make much sense. Anyways, so starting off, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. This video does contain spoilers. Yep. Don't know for sure that you would care, but it does. And the reason why I don't think you should necessarily care is because, wow, this movie had a lot of fluff in it.
This is true. Also, real quick note, we literally just watched the movie, and we have not discussed it amongst ourselves at all.
We have not. We went to the theater, watched the movie, had a lot of laughs, got really annoyed at the guy in front of me with a cell phone, came over here, set up the video, and started recording. I mean, we have not even discussed it.
Yeah, I have to mention that briefly, the cell phone guy.
Oh my gosh.
Because, I mean, like, he had it during the thing that says rude, you know? It was, like, on the screen, and he pulled it out and going, hey, that's you. You're right there, man.
Yeah, at the end, I was, like, inches from flicking his ear. I mean, my gosh. If you are watching this video and you were that guy, screw you, man.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Not acceptable.
It clearly wasn't an emergency because you didn't jump out of your seat and get out of the theater. No excuses.
Yep,
Anyways, so back to the actual movie.
Yep.
Screw you, cell phone guy. So I'm going to go ahead and give my opinion. It was a very, very entertaining, terrible movie.
I'll second it, sure. Why not?
All right, so...
Yeah, we agree
then.
We agree. Well, okay. Again, very entertaining. I would say worth a watch. You know, I mean...
absolutely. It was some of the most fun I've had in a movie in a long time.
It was a lot of fun. And even amongst the fun, though, I had a few minor gripes on the way they handled some of the pop culture stuff. Which, I mean, as a whole, I think they did pretty well. And I liked, actually, that the way it was kind of forced in there was kind of acceptable. Like, it didn't, you know, it was forced in there by characters playing things that they liked a lot, in a lot of them. You know, and it works a bit for that, and, you know, the type of environment they were in. I mean, some of it was forced, like, but it was okay. It was okay. It could have been done much worse.
So real quickly, let's have a quick conversation about the differences between objective and subjective, because this has been coming up a lot recently.
You've been wanting to do this.
I've been waiting on this, and this is a perfect example to do it.
That's fine.
So to clarify real quickly, subjectively, this was a wonderful movie. I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed all of the sounds and the music from it, especially when he's in the DeLorean and getting Back to the Future thing going on. I enjoyed the thought of being in this immersive game world. Thought it was really, really cool. Yeah. But objectively, there was a lot wrong with this movie. I mean, a lot wrong.
Yeah,
had very little character development in reality.
Yeah.
He fell in love with the chick. Woohoo. That's not character development. That's a romance plot point.
It was a romance plot point that didn't have to be there, again.
No, not at all.
You know, I would have been much happier if he'd have been the 300-pound dude named Chuck. You know, I would have. That would have
absolutely.
been, or she. Sorry, if she, the main female character, they make a joke at one point that she could be a 300-pound dude living in his mom's basement named Chuck, and I would have been thrilled with that.
It might have been a better movie.
I think it would have been hysterical. You know?
And Grant, I do want to say real fast, some of this may be on the fault of I'm wanting to say the book that it was based on.
This is true.
I know this was based on something else, because originally it wasn't the Iron Giant that they took into bed. It was something else. I don't remember. I never read it or watched it or whatever it was. Probably should have researched that before we started the camera, but you know what? Screw it.
It's okay.
If you've read the book and want to make a comment about it, please feel free.
Yeah, and incidentally,
we haven't.
Again, reviewing and discussing the movie, not the book.
Right.
We're not comparing the two at the moment.
Right. So if the book had the same character development, I'm sorry, it was a bad book.
Or a bad point in the book, you know. I mean, still, again, could be a fun book, you know. I mean, someone enjoyed it; they made it into a movie.
Oh yeah, certainly. Well, they also made
doesn't,
that doesn't mean a lot. They also made Aragon into a movie. And let's be honest,
50
those weren't
Shades
great
and
books
Twilight, and
there you go.
never mind. My entire point falls apart.
Yep. And that being said, I love the Aragon books, but they weren't really good.
You can have a not good story that's still a lot of fun. Yeah.
Speaking of the movie, actually, that was a perfect segue.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's talk a little bit about videography.
I liked it. I liked most of the video.
There was a lot of really, really pretty stuff going on in this movie. I will say, I have two big problems.
All right. What are they?
First of all, there was so much CGI in the real world, I found it kind of hard to differentiate film style between the real world and the game. And secondly, the game was way too realistic to be taken as a game, but way too CGI to be taken as real life.
You know, you mentioned that a while back, and I will contend that point, actually.
Really?
I will. I don't think you're entirely wrong on it, but...
Oh, I know I'm not.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, here's the thing. Games, even now, you know, are very real. You know, I mean...
They are.
I mean, like, just to give an example, I literally went into Best Buy a while back, and they had like one of the sports games playing on PS4 or Xbox One or one of those type of things. I didn't know it right away. Like it was like some of the things. I literally did not know that I was looking at a video game. I thought it was like a clip from a sports thing. First, it didn't take me too long, but you know, it was very real. And I think that I mean, and this is set when, like to
2045. Yeah, I believe so.
So I mean, it makes sense to me anyway that the experience there would be more realistic than games that we have now, but still fall short of reality.
And also one little thing that bugged me, and I guess it bugs me on a personal level. So Samantha's birthmark across her face. Her eyebrow was perfect.
I know, right? I noticed that, yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I actually noticed that, yeah.
When you have a birthmark like that over a place where hair grows, like, you know, right in here, the hair doesn't grow normally.
Yeah. They
like
missed it a little
ever. You couldn't do something with that? It just really took me out of the... I was like, too much eyebrow for that to be real. Nope, not buying it.
Yeah, it's a minor thing. Like, most people won't notice.
And you're right. Most people will not notice.
But I actually did. I was like, they missed it a little bit.
Small thing.
But as a whole, I enjoyed it though. It was like it was a load. We're kind of bashing a little bit. I'm standing up a little bit, I guess, for it. But
it was a load of fun.
It was just fun. It is a fun movie. I mean, I'd see it. I'd see it again, actually, because there's so much you're going to miss too.
It was absolutely
jam packed full of stuff, right?
It was absolutely chock full of 90s nostalgia.
Yeah.
Which is the thing right now.
It's
90s nostalgia. And granted, it's because of my specifically generation.
Well, they had further back too, though.
Oh,
Really,
yeah,
really
absolutely.
did, yeah.
But a lot of it was 90s.
Right.
Which, I'm sorry, people 50 years later, I don't think will care that much about the 90s. I don't care that much about the 50s or the 60s, except for the Beatles. Because, seriously, the Beatles.
No, that's true. I wonder how this movie will hold up.
Oh, it won't.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it would. And speaking of which...
And yet sometimes they do, because oddly enough, I think Stranger Things will hold up for a while. And that's
Stranger
pure
Things
80s,
will,
right?
but it's set in the 80s.
Yeah.
And that's where this movie has an issue. And it has a very similar issue as Back to the Future does, even though Back to the Future is phenomenal.
Oh, you're right.
Well,
the date's going to catch up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is absolutely
and
true.
not the too far distant future.
Yeah, they said it really fairly close, which I find a little bit odd.
I mean, realistically, 27 years in the future.
Yeah, I'll actually still be around. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Okay, I have a minor thing. Like, this is so minor, but it irritated me to no end.
Okay.
Holy hand grenade.
Oh, I loved it.
I loved it too. No counting.
Fair.
That it did. He pulls the pin, and I was all excited. And then 1, 2, 5, 3, sir, 3. None. How can you have the holy hand grenade and not have Monty Python? I
don't know.
You know, I was like,
you should have.
I mean, seriously, it bugged me, man. The plot was kind of weak.
It was.
I mean, it really was. The love interest again may have been in the book, but it really didn't need to be there.
It's not that it needed to be there. There needed to be development between the characters, and there wasn't any.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, without the character development, you don't need a love interest kind of thing in order just to throw it in, which is, is kind of how it felt. It was like, every story needs a love interest.
And I got really excited because she started to chew him out early on. I was like, okay, cool. This is realistic. This is interesting. And then they just, no, they're in love.
And it was so fast, man.
No.
It was so quick.
You got my hopes up, and then you crushed them. No. That bugged me. That bugged me a lot.
Okay, one of the other things that got me was during big fight scene, right? Mm-hmm. Which was epic. You know, I mean, I loved it. I love that. They have the people, and they show the people fighting, right? In the streets.
Yeah.
Does anyone else see an issue with this? They're in virtual reality. They don't see here.
It's called a mosh pit.
Right? You know, I mean, and they're running around. I mean, up until then, we see these people in like these treadmill-y sort of things and whatnot, which is fine.
Well, not all the time.
You know,
only the people who could afford those sort of things.
Right. Sometimes it was just kind of sitting there, or you know. But I mean, my point is, I mean, you have all these people in a massive battle, running, and not running into anything.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried VR? Try it.
That was unbelievable.
Stand up, walk, see what happens.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Not going to tell you how I know that.
I think you can probably guess at this point.
Hurts.
So, out of 10, what would you rate this movie?
Oh, this is a hard one to rate for me, actually.
Oh, not for me. I already have the number in my head.
Really?
Yep. I'm not going first.
Okay, no, that's completely fair. Can I give 2 different ratings?
No.
Oh,
no, one rating out of 10.
Tough.
Average.
That makes it tough. Okay. I'll actually give it a 7.
7.
I will give it a 7.
That I was going to say 6.5.
Yeah, I will give it a 7. Mainly just because, I mean, yes, the movie falls short on plot. The movie has so many plot holes that it's not funny.
It really does.
And the writing is okay, I guess. I mean, like, the dialogue was not incredibly painful.
The dialogue's okay.
The dialogue I thought was good. The plot hurts. but it doesn't take away from the fact that it is a lot of fun.
It is.
I mean, like, again, I would see it again. I won't go to the theater and see it again, but I'll watch it again at some point.
Yeah. And I have to pretty much agree with you. I'd rate it a little lower than you do. I want to give it a full 7, but I think 6.5 is fair.
I'm stretching on the 7.
Yeah.
I'm stretching on it. And if I didn't have as much fun as okay, I'll say this. If it didn't have The Shining in it,
oh, that was a
which
great,
was just a great sequence.
But see, that's the thing. The scenes in this movie were so disjointed.
Yeah.
I forgot that scene existed until you just
If it
mentioned
didn't have that in there, I'd probably be in a 6 or 6.5. But it was, even though it wasn't the same, it was so well done, and it had such humor tossed into it that I'll give it a 7, sure.
Anyways, guys, that's about all we have time for today. Thank you all so much for joining us. Before we head out, we just want to give a big shout out to Pretty and Porcelain on Twitch. She's been helping us out a lot getting that orc love out. So thank you so much for that. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and tell us why in the comments. If you didn't enjoy the video, hit the like button out of spite and tell us why in the comments.
Exactly.
And if you haven't already done it, please smash that subscribe button. It does us a world of good like you honestly don't even realize. Yep. We have a goal that we are trying to reach with our YouTube. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can get moving with other projects that we have in mind and hopefully start funding those products. Speaking of funding, if you'd like to help us out more directly with that, you can always donate to our GoFundMe page, gofundme.com/orcrogues, or to our Patreon page for a continued donation at patreon.com/once again, orcrogues. So, social media links are in the description below, and as always, until next time, we are Orcrogues. Twitch. We're on Twitch too.